against a really good GCU team over the weekend. Back and forth, really, really close game. Ended up winning it in overtime thanks to a couple of free throws. Just talk about your team's fight and the ability to climb back into games or differentiate themselves.
Yeah, I said this after the game to my staff. Like, I think that was the first game, it was the last game of the year, where we dug ourselves a hole and we dug out of it to win the game. We've won some good games this year, but we've had the lead, and so we hit some adversity. We've clawed through some adversity, but held on to our lead. This was the first time, like, we were down, we had a hole, and we dug out of it. And against a quality team like Grand Canyon, really proud of our guys for the way they did that. But it's all about belief, man. And we've talked about it all year. And I think the guys finally, kind of showed that.
And you secured the 4 seed with that win. Just talk about how important seeding is when it comes to conference tournament time. I mean, you have a little bit of a rest. You're playing on a Thursday, which is a normal kind of day for you guys.
Yeah, our whole goal at the beginning of the year, honestly, was with internally with so many new faces, man, was a top 4 finish. And I think some people looked at me a little crazy when I said that, but we accomplished that. And would I've liked to go into this tournament the 1 seed with a regular season championship, of course. But I think with all the new faces we had this year, just really proud of where we finished. And then going into the conference tournament with the 4 seed, like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, I don't know who we're going to play. We're purple jersey, white jersey. I don't think it matters. We could easily, if we don't show up and compete at a high level, we could easily lose that first one. But we could easily be playing in the championship game on Saturday. I believe that. And so it's going to come down to how do we show up, what kind of mindset do we have.
And, I mean, GCU, we all know, they're a solid program, always have good talent. How talk about the momentum that a win against them brings into this conference tournament, and how good it is to be kind of riding high when it comes to conference tournament.
Yeah, it's kind of eerily similar to, a few years ago when we beat Tarleton, in the last game of the regular season on senior night. And we carried that momentum in and went and won 4 straight games or 3 straight games to get into the championship game to play a 4th. And, we played really good last year down the stretch, but we lost that last game, going into the conference tournament. And so, it does feel good. I think it is important to win that last game, to have that confidence. I think it allows us to have a good week of practice, not be so on edge, because the biggest concern as a coach for the conference tournament is that your players are going to be on edge all week, knowing that it's one and done. But I think when you carry a win into it, it kind of takes some of that away. And so I think we'll be a little bit more loose this week, and hopefully it'll help us going into the tournament.
And, I mean, you guys have been playing really good basketball, probably your best basketball season the last 3-4 weeks or so. Talk about having that kind of momentum going into the tournament, saying, we've lost 2 games in the last month. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think it just kind of shows. I feel like I was thinking about this, kind of reflecting as the season ended, the regular season. We always split our season into 3 parts, the non-conference season, the conference season, and then the postseason. I thought we had a really good non-conference season. We won 8 games. If we don't go through the flu, we're decimated about half our team for 3 games. We easily could have had like 10 wins in the non-conference season. So I was really pleased in that. And then we kind of carried that unfortunately those losses came at the end of the non-conference season, and we carried that into the beginning of the conference season. And then we got to February 1. Something happens to this program, man, when February 1 hits every year. I do think some of it has to do with schedule. I've been open about that the last couple of years, but we found our way and we turned it around. I don't think a lot of teams can do that, regardless of what the circumstance is. To be able to, kind of be left for dead. It's what I told him in the locker room the other day. I said, man, a lot of people just left you for dead about a month ago, and the fact that you're a top 4 team in this league is a testament to your character and your composure, that we've been using that word a lot lately, and just sticking to, the belief. We talk about it, Mark 3, 3-2-5 all the time about, believing, having a belief. And I think that's a testament to the players. And so I'm extremely proud of them. But now we go into the very short non-conference season, postseason. Whether you win it or not, it's a very fast season. And so hopefully we can carry all this momentum in. I know it does give you confidence as a coach when you've been playing well. But we know last year, like I said, we were playing well too. And one of the craziest games I've ever been a part of. Unfortunately, we came out on the short end of it. But so we know anything can happen.
And then talking about Seattle, you played them about a month ago. I know a lot can happen in a month. You guys are red hot in a month. Talk about how difficult it can be playing the same team 3 times in a year, and just the differences that can happen.
Yeah, it's tough. They're a tough matchup for us. If you want to look at it, and which I don't ever do, but if you wanted to say, okay, this one or this one or this one, Seattle would not have been on my list because they're such a tough matchup for us, man. They are really good defensively. I think he is, one of the top 2 or 3 coaches in the league, easily, hands down, Coach Victor. And so we got our hands full, man. But we're going to go out there. We're going to give it our best shot. I think that he's probably thinking the same thing. We kind of both create some issues for each other defensively. Look, man, they shoot the ball a lot better than I think people give them credit for. And I think they're way better defensively than people give them credit for. I think they're the best defensive team in the league, in my opinion, with just how they do things. And so going to be a challenge. We haven't played them in a while. In some ways, that might be better than playing somebody you just played. We had 2 really good games with each other, and so I would imagine that Thursday it's going to be very similar.
And I know the last 2 games of your season, you faced the top 2 teams in the WAC. And you had really good games against them. What kind of do you use that as a measuring stick going into this conference tournament, or is it when it comes to the WAC tournament you throw it off the line?
Yeah, you look at every single game that was played in the WAC on Saturday, and every single one of them was a nail biter. And it didn't matter who, Tarleton is playing the team that won the league. It comes down to one possession. We're playing the team that was competing for a share of the league title, and it comes down into one possession in overtime. Seattle is playing Utah Tech, who's in the 8-9 game, and it basically comes down to one possession. If they don't foul, and so this is just a really good league. I think, of course, it shows we can compete with anybody, but I think anybody in our league, anybody in the WAC can go win next week. So hopefully we'll be that team.
And now it's a 3-game season at this point. You win 3 games, you get to keep playing. How important is it that your team has that idea of how short it can be, but taking it 1 game at a time?
Yeah, I do think that this team is going to be. This team doesn't worry me with that, like some other teams have. I know this team is looking at Seattle and Seattle only, and I think it does. Because we had 2 really good games with them. I think our players respect the Seattle program, and so I don't think there's anybody thinking. Of course, those little thoughts creep in your head. You want to envision yourself, cutting down the nets and all that stuff. But we know it's 1 game at a time, and we'll lock into Seattle today and get it started. But because there is no day 2 if you can't win on day 1. So I think our guys are understand that, and we'll be prepared for that.
And so, what's it going to take for this ACU team to be able to cut down those nets and make it to the big games?
Belief, man. The belief. We've just got to believe. We've got to stick together. We know we're going to hit some adversity. You're going to hit some adversity no matter what. And as long as we keep that belief, we were down 7 or 8 the other night, and I just told them, man, believe. That's been our word, belief. There's not much else I had to say in the huddle, And I think we came out from that point on and went on like a 14-3 run to win the game. And so as long as they believe in themselves, man, I'll put us up against anybody, and I like our chances.
From 1 conference win a couple weeks ago to 8-8 to finish the regular season with a conference record like that, 4 seed now, top 4 team in the WAC. What would you say has been the driving force for this late season turnaround?
Belief. But those players in the locker room, man. As a coach, I wish I could say, man, I did this and I did that, and I did all this to create this. It's just these players, man, just sticking together. It's amazing to have a group. Like I said, a lot of programs, a lot of teams would shut down in that moment, right? And they would just continue to kind of do the same thing over and over. but our guys just continued to fight. I was saying it in this room, we're having great practices. I think I told all of you that just wait. This team's going to go on a run, and because I could feel it. I could feel the way we were practicing, the way we were in the film room, our team meetings, everything. We had energy, we had enthusiasm. The guys never lost that, and I think that's what propelled us to this, this win streak or this great run in February and early March. It's those guys in that room, man. And I'm surrounded by some really good players and some really, really good kids, man, and a great staff that obviously behind the scenes does a ton of work that they don't get credit for. And so I'm just kind of sitting here, and surrounded by a lot of really good people, and I think that's why we were able to kind of finish the season the way we did.
And you have a seat at the blackjack table. The dealer hands you a 4.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, props.
How do you take that 4 and you turn it into a 21, you win the whack, and you leave Vegas a blackjack winner?
Well, I probably hit 3 times, man. So I got to win 3 games, right? I think I could do it in 3 cards. You know what I mean? And hit blackjack. I'm a don't post this. I'm a card counter, so I could probably figure out if I should hit or not, man. But Colby's actually a better card counter than me. I think they've got him on a couple watch lists in Vegas, so we got to be careful, man. But yeah, I think we got to hit 3 times, man. We got to win 3 games and find a way to get it done.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Can you talk about Seattle's Moncrief? Like, what makes him a challenge to go up against?
Yeah, man, he's a tough matchup. One, he doesn't foul defensively, so you can't get him out of the game. He's just really good at playing without his hands and moving his feet. And then offensively, he can play inside out. He can drive guys. He's really deceptive. He's easy to lose. He doesn't sit still. He's a guy that moves really well without the ball. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. It's not like you talk about some guards, playing off screens and stuff, but he doesn't stand still, and we can get lost if you get caught ball watching. And so you've got to be aware of him at all times. He's a scary potential double, and he's had 16 points on us, I think, maybe both games, or 18 or something like that. And I don't know if you can stop him from getting that. And so you got to do a really good job on everybody else.
There will be something announced today about Dontrez. Can you talk about his impact as a freshman here?
Yeah, it's so hard for freshmen nowadays to come in and compete, especially on a team, I think, with so many new faces and transfers. I think it would be really hard for a freshman to come in. But Dontrez just kept a good attitude all summer, all fall. And then when he wasn't playing much early, continued to work and just kind of found his niche. He's never had a bad day. It's unbelievable. I don't know how he does it. I'm always asking him how he's doing, and he's like, what are you talking about? Coach, it's great. It's a great day. And I think that's what's allowed him to really have a good freshman season, is because he's just got the right attitude and the right mindset. And so in today's world, man, it's hard for a freshman to come in and make an impact. He was a huge factor in that win the other night. And, so many people look at, like, who's the leading scorer, who's your leading rebounder. But usually good teams, it's because there's somebody behind, that's getting 3-4 points a game, but they always come at the right time, grabbing that right rebound, making a great defensive play. And Dontrez has been that guy for us this year, and I'm super proud of him. Good.
Thanks, Brett.
So you hit the road for the last couple of games of the regular season. That didn't necessarily end how you wanted it to, but talk about the contest you had against Utah Valley and then a really good Green team.
Yeah, we ended on a really tough road trip, playing in Orem, Utah, against a really good Utah Valley team on Thursday, and then flying to Phoenix Friday to play undefeated regular season champion Grand Canyon on Saturday. So really tough, challenging week. Thought our players were just super gritty at Utah Valley. They are different from anybody else in our league. They do some different things defensively, and then they're huge as well. And so it really took a great team effort for us to get that road win. That's a tough place to go. And fun fact, we are undefeated in that arena. Since we joined the WAC, we've been able to get out of there with wins. So really proud of just the team effort. I thought Bella Earl really put our team on her back in the fourth quarter, and she just went and got buckets when we needed her to. And our team hit just super critical free throws down the stretch in the fourth quarter. And so really, really big win, and one that we wanted to get back. We gave one away to Utah Valley, like January 4th or something. I mean, it was forever ago, and they beat us at home in double overtime. So we had a little bit of a revenge factor going into that game.
And GCU, I mean, they're known nationally for this little that win streak that they're on. Talk about kind of an advantage of playing the team that you're most likely going to have to get through if you want to win the WAC. Just talk about ending the season with them and getting to see them.
Yeah, I thought our players, they played really hard. We didn't play our smartest game on Saturday, made some critical errors defensively. And when you play a really good team with 9 seniors like Grand Canyon, they take advantage of your defensive lapses, and they did that to us on multiple occasions. It allowed them to have too big of a lead at the end of the first quarter. But I thought our kids really battled. We forced 4 shot clock violations and 1 10-second backcourt violation. So defensively, we did some really good things, but you just have to really pay attention to detail. Defensively, be exactly where you're supposed to be, play great team defense against a team like Grand Canyon that has so many scoring weapons.
And now you look ahead to the WAC tourney. You get a familiar face. It's the team you played earlier this week in Utah Valley. Is that kind of an advantage, being able to play a team so close together, especially when you came off a win on the road against that team?
I think in your prep, the scouting report should be fairly fresh. We should be very clear about personnel, what their strengths are. Obviously, every coach has opportunity to tweak things a little bit, and we'll be working on a couple of things in practice today that we feel like will be successful in that game. So, I'm excited to play them again. I think that our players should have confidence with it. UVU just came off a huge win Saturday, though, on their senior day. They took down Tarleton, our number 2 seed, and so they're probably feeling pretty good about how they're playing as well. So we like the fact that we're playing them on a neutral court. We're undefeated on neutral courts this year, so we've talked about what the rest of the month of March looks like, and obviously